Everybody, it's Raccoon the What If here, and this is gonna be part 4 of What If Deku was a legendary Super Saiyan. And I'm not gonna rant on about anything. I know that Phoenix Hokage wasn't feeling good yesterday, so he held off on releasing part 3 until like late morning, like around 3 I think. And so I'm gonna be finishing up where he left off, and I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna tell you where I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop at a certain part so he can finish that part up. And we haven't discussed if we want to go over the movies yet, so I'm pretty sure the movies take place after the Force training arc. But I'm gonna get right into it. So as he left off, Stain did his whole speech where he said All Might's worthy as he released massive amounts of bloodlust. And as this is when his lung got pierced by his rib, and he died standing up. And I'm not sure if he died in the actual anime, but we're just going with this. And so as Deku and Todoroki, as well as Ida, or the cops, I think it was like the dog face guy, or the dog, I forgot that dude's name. I think it was a mutation quirk. But he tries to punish them for using the quirks, and Deku said he didn't use a quirk, and the detective is like, there's no way you would have beaten the hero killer Stain if you had not. And Deku says he's extremely strong, and he has something that doesn't register as a quirk, and this being like his ki. Well, people don't know that he's quirkless, except Todoroki just found out, as well as Ida, but Kasuga, my bad, and Mina know, and those are about the only ones that know. As well as All Might, I think. Yeah, I think it was All Might that knows as well. And so Todoroki and Ida are both shocked to hear this, as Deku told him, I think last time I forgot the fake quirk name I gave Deku. I think it was around like it had ki in it. Forgot the name, but he told him that, and they test this to find out, and as they put Deku in court canceling cuffs and ask him to use his brute strength to pick up like a boulder or something. And so he does, and they see that his brute strength is there. And then this is where Deku summons a ki ball. Now, he doesn't have full mastery over it. As I said in the last part, he can only use false Super Saiyan, where it's like the yellowish aura around him. But he's slowly, gradually getting stronger with ki. And so he's able to summon a ki ball. Now, I'm pretty sure in part 2 I said that UA was a high school. That's my bad because it's supposed to be a college. And I'm pretty sure in the last part he sent the ship off as Mina and Kasuga both dating Deku. And they have their like own dorm rooms connected, just in case Deku ever goes into like that rage mode again, because they're the only ones that can really stop him. And so as they're being questioned by the police, this time it takes longer because they're confused about what Deku is. But a day goes by of them being questioned and interrogated. They finally come back to the dorms at night, like they did in canon. And when they get there and they walk into the dorms, Katsuka and Mina both tackle Deku. And I'm pretty sure he mentioned in his part that after the sports festival, or after like the USJ, they got dorm rooms, and they did the deed. Now, we move on to like a couple days go by as the final exams are coming up, I'm pretty sure it was. So Aizawa comes into the classroom telling them that in a couple of weeks they're gonna go on a class camping trip to a forest, and everybody's excited about this. saying that, oh, we finally get a break, and this is where Aizawa stops them dead in their tracks and says, you're not getting a break, it's just for more training for the final exams. And they all groan and moan about this because they're complaining. And so, over these couple of weeks, Deku has been training to get to Super Saiyan. He's been able to get the one where the mist form, where his aura is no longer yellow, but it's mist. It's like the whitish form. Now, Deku sometimes can dodge things without knowing that he's about to be hit, because he is a hybrid between an angel and a Saiyan. And so he does have some of the Ultra Instinct, but he can't activate it at all. I don't think he wants to give him Ultra Instinct, so I'm not going to give him it. We'll talk about that later, though. So, as Deku is in his dorm room with the bed that connects, like, for everybody, that's 3 people, Mina and Kasuka walk in. As they see Deku working out with his shirt off, and they're gawing at this eye candy they see, because Deku is kind of looking like this, but without the injuries and without a shirt. So he's pretty buff, or lean, I should say, not buff. His physique is amazing. And so as Deku is doing push-ups with like 500-pound weights on his back, Mina and Kasuka come over to him, and they scare him, cause him to flip over and fall straight through the floor, because he's on the 2nd floor. As he fell straight to the floor, he goes straight into the common rooms and smashes into the ground. Because Deku he had a lot of weight on him, and he was using his ki to keep it from you destroying the ground below him. So as he got scared, he released this ki and fell straight through the ground. As Mina and Kasuka are like, oh no, are you okay, Deku? As they look down, they see Deku with a pouting face and annoyed. As they say they're sorry, and everyone in the common room that was there just see Deku fall through the fucking roof. Oh, my bad, I didn't mean to cuss right there. Trying not to get age restricted on my videos anymore. As he fell through the roof, everybody's like, what the heck was that? And they look, as the dust clears, they see Deku with a vest on. And the vest on the back of it reads 400 lb, which is pounds. And they're like, why do you have that on, Izuku? Because in this one, they don't really call him Deku except Mina and Kasuka, because Deku doesn't like anybody call him Deku other than those two. And Deku's hero name, hold on, give me a second. So, Deku's hero name is Xantaphils, and he calls himself this because of his yellowish Super Saiyan glow and for fall Super Saiyan. So, Xantaphils means yellow glow, and so that's where I got this name from. I don't know if we should keep it, bro, but for now, that'll be his hero name. He'll probably change it in the future. So, as Deku fell to the floor, everyone looks at him like, what the heck, man? As he looks up and points to the roof and sees the Kasuka and Mina are laughing at him because he fell to the floor after they realized that he was okay. And they all get the picture that, oh, they did something to him. As Deku gets up, putting the key back around the vest and walking up. Now, they call this Kamui Woods. I think that was his name. He can use wood, or morph wood. And he fixes the floor. As he's upset about this because he's a pro here and he has to be called to come fix some stupid floor for a bunch of kids. And so these weeks go by as it's now the day for them to go to the force training area. Now, Deku can hover. He can't fly, but he can hover now, because he's been controlling his ki to keep it in his body and move it around any place he wants, but he can't fly. So on the bus, trying to remember the hero name I gave him. Not hero name, but the quirk I gave him that was like his fake quirk, but like a cover-up. Can't remember. So Mina and Katsuka sit on Deku's lap because Deku's big. I wouldn't say like Broly big, but like, because if you've seen the movie and ever Goku went into the blue form, or Gogeta went into the blue form, Broly was huge, dude. Like, Gogeta's hand was like the size of his pinky, bro. He was massive. So I wouldn't say he's that big. I'd say he's about the size of Goku. But, like, bigger. Hold on. Like the size of Mr. Satan. But, like, leaner. So he's pretty big for a 15-year-old. No, not a 15, like a 20-year-old. Because this is a college, I remember. Or 18. He's like 18 to 20. We don't really talk about his age. We just know that he's in college. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. We just know that he's in college. So as they're sitting on his lap, they're toying with him and messing with him as well as teasing him. And this is when Sue starts talking about quirks, because I'm just going to say she does this on the one. She talks about the quirks for a couple minutes, asks Deku his quirk, he tells her again and explains it, as well as showing her that he's able to control certain things now. Now everyone believes this is a quirk because they don't believe there's a way for someone to control like a greenish, pinkish ball without a quirk. They don't believe it. But Mina and Katsuka already know Deku's quirkless, and they don't really care because he is strong and they love him. Now, as they're talking, Aizawa finally gets out the bus and says, "We're here." And as everyone steps out the bus, they look around, they see nothing but woods and a cliff. As they go over to the cliff, they look out and they see the camp like 5 miles out. And this is when the Wawa Pussycats come out and they do their stupid poses and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure... I don't know if we made it work. Coda is there or not. I'm gonna just say he's there for plot reasons. And so the Wawa Pussycats come out, but they leave Coda at the camp in his little secret spot because they couldn't find him. But they're not really worried about it because he's always safe there. And so as they come out, they introduce themselves, the Wawa Pussycats. They go into explanation. As Deku feels like feels ki moving around. One of the one girl, I think it was Ragdoll. Was it Ragdoll? The one that controls the earth. As he feels ki start to move around her and shift inside her body, he begins to hover. Well, not hover, but like just stand there. But as soon as Katsuka and Mina go to talk to Deku, the ground falls, and as Deku's just not moving, he's just sitting there hovering. And now he can move forward a small amount of time. He can descend and ascend, but he can't like dart forward like they can in Dragon Ball. So as Deku's hovering there, and Aizawa, Mina, everyone in Class 1A looks up to see Deku hovering, as well as the Wawa Pussycats looking at him. And they're surprised, confused, and amazed at the same time, seeing how Deku can kind of fly. And so Aizawa just says, "Damn problem child. Just get in the car, get in the bus." As the Wawa Pussycat's like, "Aren't you gonna make him go down there?" And this is when Aizawa looks at them and says, "If that kid goes down there, they'll be there within minutes. They'll probably beat us there." Because Aizawa, as he was like knocked out in the USJ, he woke up a bit to see Deku in his like rage state, completely, utterly destroying everyone, even the Nomu. Now, Deku really likes the fights because he has that same blood in him. He's also a calm and collected person if he isn't in a fight because of the angel blood. But he can get flustered easily and teased a lot by Mina and Katsuka. And Mineta, I'm pretty sure Mineta's in this class because nobody got expelled for the the quirk assessment test. So everything kind of goes the same way as canon, but instead of Katsuka and Mina being there, the three that were chosen were Mina, Katsuka, and Todoroki as well. But as they get there, they see Deku eating like a feast because he is a Saiyan, so he eats a lot. Now Mina and Katsuka know about his eating, but they haven't seen him eat so much before in their life, as he's like devouring an entire table. And there's like no food for them because Deku cooked this all himself by like hunting down some boars and a couple of deer in the forest and cooked them himself. So like Deku ate like 5 whole boars and like 2 whole deer by himself. And now Aizawa, Wawa Pussycats, rest of Class 1A other than, almost everyone there is just staring at Deku as he's devouring this. Now, he gave Aizawa, the Wawa Pussycats, and Koda their own little portion. Now, in this one, Koda doesn't really hate heroes all that much. He's more understanding. He's not an idiot just because his parents got killed by a villain. He blames heroes because he thinks it's the hero's fault. I don't even see why he even thought that, but he's a child, so in this one, he's more smarter and thinks a lot more. And so, as Katsuka walks up to Koda and Mina walks up to Koda and tries to take his hand, Koda kicks her in the shin and runs off. And Katsuka does her thing and says, "Kid's got spunk." I like it like that because she's kind of like she is in the anime, but less arrogant. More of a Saiyan. She loves to fight. And her strong-willed personality is what attracts Deku to her. And Mina looking like Chi-Lai and shit like that. And I'm pretty sure in the last one, after the USJ, Mina called Deku Broly, and damn it, now I'm messing up. Now, Mina called Deku Broly, and Deku called Mina Chi-Lai. And Katsuka still thinks this is like a nickname they do to each other. And so she thinks that Mina is getting ahead of her because she got a name and she doesn't. So she tells Deku to call her Kachan like they did when they were kids. And Deku is embarrassed about this because that nickname was like so long ago. And he doesn't really like saying it anymore because to me that nickname was stupid. It's like so childish. But so Deku says, why does he need to call her that? And she doesn't say why. But she just says that Pinky has one, why can't I? Like that, with like a jealous but embarrassed face. And so as he calls her Kachan, I really hate saying that name, bro. As he calls her Kachan, she flusters up and gets embarrassed. And she walks off. Now, they cut to the hot spring scenes as Mineta tries crawling up it. Koda's up there, but Koda's just watching Mineta as Deku shoots a small energy beam, almost like the Emperor's death beam that Frieza does. But this one doesn't pierce his skin or go through him. It's kind of like a rubber bullet. It kind of hits and bounces off, enough to cause a bruise. So this made Mineta fall and smash into the ground. Now all the guys are laughing at him. And the girls look up at Koda and ask what happened. And Koda explains what happened as they say, "Thanks, Deku." Well, thanks, Izuku. And as Mina and Katsuka say, Deku. Now, I'm not going to go into the part where they call him babe and all this and that. Like, I'll just get the names mixed up and shit and stuff like that. I'm trying not to mess up as much. But it's really hard. Now, I'm not going to upload a What If Deku Was in a Zombie Apocalypse today. I'll probably upload a part tomorrow. Because I got to do another series. I'm going to start another series today. And y'all see the series. Y'all will see the series whenever it gets uploaded. I'm probably going to make it 30 minutes. And the first part is probably going to be about his childhood. On how he gets said power. But I'm going to go back into this. As Deku is training with as the next day, Deku wakes up earliest as the earliest person, even earlier than Aizawa and the Wild Wild Pussycats, and he goes outside and starts his training. Now, Deku is physically stronger than everybody in that class, including that one Tiger. I think that was his name, Tiger, or his hero name was Tiger. And so they can't really teach him about strength, but they can teach him strategies and combat. Because Deku's more like a brute when it comes to fighting and his rage mode. He doesn't fight normal. He fights like a full-blown brute. He'll shoot ki blasts out his mouth, throw random punches. Like, he has no form when it comes to combat. And so he can easily be outmaneuvered and beaten by someone weaker than him because of this. So I'll say the first 3 days go by as him training with Tiger and most of the Wild Wild Pussycats to get his form up. And he's the seriously fast learner because of Broly. He learns when he fights. So like every 2 minutes, Deku would pick up on something and start being able to do it like almost like a master. But like he would be the equivalent of like a belt below black belt if you fought someone for 2 minutes using that fighting style. But Deku doesn't like to copy fighting styles. He likes to learn them. He'll only use them if he's forced to. And he learns that some people know how some people know how to do a fighting style, but they don't know how to block their own. So Deku learns to fight like this the first 3 days, and him and Mina share a room. Not Mina, him, Kasuga and Mina share a room. And they, like one of the days, they do the deed, and like, everyone can hear, stop it, it burns, it fucking burns, like that, and everybody doesn't question this, as Deku walks, and the next morning Deku walks out with like semi-burns on his nose and face because of the deed, and Kasuga and Mina walk out looking proud. Now, Deku pulls out every time because he's not trying to impregnate them right now. I doubt we'll go into any type of impregnations or getting any of them too pregnant. So, Deku walks out with the burns on his face and like a bandage over his mouth covering it. Everyone's asking what happens, and Deku can't speak because of the bandage. And this is where Mina and Kasuga say they had a little argument and Deku wouldn't shut up. And they take this as a straight answer because they looked at them like with almost killing intent but not. And so they're kind of like Bulma and Chi-Chi. Like they got that strong ass personality, like almost everybody around them is scared of them whenever they get serious. But unlike Deku's like Goku. He's that dumbass that likes to fuck around and be stupid. And there I go cussing by accident. Dang it. Alright. And so, furthermore, the rest of the day goes as the League of Villains has been watching their schedule on how they fight and how they go. And so, they see that Deku is able to pick up combat styles really easily. And so, I'm going to say they plan to kidnap Deku. No. Scratch that. I'll tell you who they kidnap when they do it. And so, a couple weeks go by as Deku has fully mastered all the Wild Wild Pussycats techniques and beaten them, as well as fought with Aizawa. And Aizawa does that, like, scarf fighting style. And, like, not gonna lie, that could easily have been Deku. Because Aizawa was practically quirkless when it comes to, like, a physical, a mutation quirk, anything like that. And dude still kicks ass. Like, man's a full-blown ass kicker, bro. And so, as Deku's practically the strongest one in the camp, because nobody there can really beat him when it comes to combat and strength and everything like that. So now we cut a few weeks as Deku was doing like weight training at night, as he sees a blue flame come up. As he wakes the Wild Wild Pussycats up to inform them that there is a forest fire, which there really isn't. It's Dabi, as you all know and love. And I'm not going to spoil anything that was in the manga. And Todoroki sees that it's fire, and he starts questioning if his dad was sleeping around and strange like that, as he remembers that he had a older brother that had blue fire. But then he says, oh no, he died a long time ago. And this is when the rest of Class 108 wakes up, and this time they didn't do the test of courage. And so, yeah, they didn't do the test of courage this time, as well as the combined thing with Class 1B. Class 1B didn't go on this trip. Well, they didn't go on it at first, but then as like the last week of it, they came by to assist in the training, as Monoma challenged Deku to a duel. As Monoma got close enough to Deku to touch him, as he did, and he tried to use Deku's quirk, which nothing happened. And Deku says that it's a mutation quirk, and that you won't be able to use it if you have a copy quirk, because Deku knows almost everybody's quirk in the entire UA. I say he doesn't know Ibarra's or Reiko. Pretty sure they're Class 1B. He doesn't know their quirks. So we ask them about it, and they don't tell him. And we cut over to the League of Villains, who see Deku fighting. All for One thinks Deku's power is a quirk, so he wants Deku's quirk. But then he remembers that during the USJ, whenever they attacked those two women, that he went into a rage mode, or like he fully lost his mind. And so there's a hint. I'm not going to tell you what the hint's for, but there's a hint. And so we cut over back to the time whenever the state saw the blue flames. As everyone wakes up, they get ready to go out and put this fire out, as they have Kota there, because Kota does have his quirk. His like water hose quirk. And as they go out to the flyer, they see Dabi burning trees. And they automatically know who he is because they've seen him on posters. And this is when Himiko Toga comes out of nowhere and starts fighting them. As they're all grouped up right now, but then Mustard throws out his gas, which separates them. And Dabi begins to burn like parts of the forest to make them stay split up. As Deku and Mina and Kasuga are together. I'm not going to go into the list of the others because it's irrelevant. Yep, they're pretty much extras right now, as Katsuki Bakugo would say. And as they split up, they have to fight they have to fight the Teeth guy and Muscular. Now, Deku sees Muscular, and he automatically knows his quirk. And so he tells, and then this is where the Tooth guy comes out, and he tells Kasuga and Mina to deal with the Tooth guy, because he doesn't know his villain name, but he knows Muscular's because he hasn't seen the Teeth villain. And he says he'll deal with Muscular himself. And Muscular takes this as a threat and a challenge, as he gets hyped like he does. And the canon, whenever he's on top of crushing Deku, saying, "Give me your blood," or "Show me your blood," something like that. So he gets really hyped as Deku and him charge at each other. Deku's in the yellowish form right now, but he's in the full Super Saiyan form, but not the mist form, as they're pretty much evenly matched whenever Muscular is pretty much in his bulked up muscular fibers sticking out of his body form, like the one where he's completely overpowering him at 100%, one for all in the canon. As Deku's winning, this is when Muscular, during it, Deku had to go up to mist form because they were evenly matched at the muscular form. And as Deku beats down on him in his mist form, this is when Muscular pulls out 3 syringes, and these being 3 different quirk enhancements. One enhances the overall endurance of your quirk, one enhances the overall strength of the quirk, and one enhances the overall damage the quirk will deal. And so Muscular is practically that one guy in Two Heroes where he had the little metal thing on his head and he's like completely destructive mode, like he's destroying everything. As Muscular buffs up to the one where he was crushing Deku, like all that muscle fiber, but on each arm. And this is when Deku is being beaten as he goes into the almost like the Kaioken, and he shoots a ki ball through Muscular's muscle fibers, blowing his arm off as well as destroying the muscles as Muscular screams out in pain. And this is when Deku takes his chance and does like the kitty kung fu, or I think that's what it's called, or cat kung fu, something like that, or cat combat, and takes Muscular down with like a couple of body blows as well as a knee in the back of the head. And Mina and Katsuka have already dealt with the teeth guy because Mina can decay his teeth. Well, not decay, but corrode his teeth and just melt them down. And this is when those two were fighting the teeth guy. As Deku finished up the fight, he's badly beaten, like he is in the picture right now, but not as bad. As Compress comes out of nowhere while they were fighting and compresses Mina and Katsuka. Now, and they also compressed, let's say, Ida. As Compress is running away, Deku's seen him compress both of them. As Deku blitzes after them, almost as fast as Ida's reciprocal burst, but not quite. But Compress is doing his thing where he's like hopping over in the trees, getting assistance from some people. And this is when Kurogiri pops up as Deku shot a ki blast hitting Compress in his leg as he threw out 2 of the 3 marbles that he had. As Deku grabs one of these and Dabi grabs the other. Now, Deku breaks the compressed ball that he thought would be Katsuka or Mina, which in reality it was Ida. So as they're both in the portal and they're crying for Deku, asking Deku to save them, as then the portal closed, and that's when I'm gonna leave it off. Yes, this is a really big cliffhanger, and I'm sorry about it, but if you want part 5, you're gonna have to go to Phoenix Hokage's channel and check him out because he will have part 5. Probably, I'm pretty sure, uploaded by today, if not tomorrow morning or tonight, one of the two. And then if you like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and peace out.